So a chemical reaction is a process by which substances collide with each other and they rearrange to form new substances, and a good example of that is the combustion of magnesium, as you may have observed. So what happens when magnesium combusts is you have magnesium coming together with oxygen, and that gives us a substance known as magnesium oxide. And that is an example of a chemical reaction. We've just written an equation for it. This type of equation is called a word equation because we've described all chemical substances in the form of words. But we can also write something known as a formula equation, and for that we'd have to translate these into their actual chemical formulas. So magnesium, for example, its formula is written as Mg. Oxygen, on the other hand, oxygen is a diatomic molecule. It's a nonmetal, so it normally exists as O2, and that would then give us magnesium oxide, which is MgO. Yeah. When we're writing the formulas of each of these substances, we follow our normal formula writing rules. We make sure the valencies are balanced and we've done justice to the name. So magnesium oxide, for example, I know it's MgO because if I look at the charges, magnesium is 2+, Mg is 2+, oxygen is 2-. So we do the whole swap and drop rule. We swap those numbers over. That should give us Mg2O2. But remember, we normally cancel that out in an ionic compound and we give it in its smallest form. So that should become MgO for us. The next thing we've got to do is we've got to actually balance out the amounts on each side. You'll notice that there's a bit of an imbalance at the moment. There's one magnesium on this side. There's one oxygen on this side, but on the other side we have magnesium. There's one of them. But the oxygens, there's two of them. Now the way we balance this, when we're balancing formulas, we have to balance it by putting numbers in front of the formula. We can't actually mess with the formula the way it's written. We can't change O2 to O, for instance. That changes its identity. So the only way we can change this is by putting numbers in front of the formula. So what we do here is we put a 2 in front of the magnesium oxide, and then now we've got an imbalance in magnesiums, so we put a 2 in front of the magnesium on the other side as well. So basically we're saying that 2 lots of magnesium combine with one O2 molecule to give us 2 lots of magnesium oxide, right? And that's the way we balance equations. Again, remember, you can't balance equations by changing the little subscripts down the bottom. Those subscripts are reserved for formula writing, getting the formulas right. And then the coefficients, the numbers in front, are what we use to balance the amounts. Okay, there's one little thing left for this formula. We also need to indicate something known as state symbols. We need to indicate what state of matter each of these are in. And sometimes you'll be given the information, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll have to work this out intuitively. Magnesium, for example, it's a metal. Most metals are solid at room temperature. Oxygen is a gas, so we put a G next to it. And then magnesium oxide is a solid. If you see the combustion of magnesium, you normally see a solid lump forming, and that's the magnesium oxide that's been produced. Alright, great. I hope this video has clarified what a chemical equation is. There's plenty of practice we can do, and there's a few other videos you can watch to work your way through this. Thank you.